officially a meeting in the ladies' room.
Yeah, like that.
Yes. Ladies, are we making dinner or are you making reservations? We're busy. It's not like it used to be when our parents and grandparents, were, in relations and raising children. Career, we're trying to balance, being a mother as well as, being a wife or a partner.
You nailed it. You really did. Because, and I mean,
that's the truth.
You'll be like, what we gonna eat? You'd be like, oh, quick. It's always to have to cook. And then you'd be like, cooking what? Hot dogs.
How you doing? Hey, Kimberly. Hey. You can't hear me?
Hey everybody, it's Sunday. It's a new month. Welcome to the month of October.
My birthday month,
Oh, is it? What day is it on?
the 28th.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. So celebration
it's
started
gonna be
yesterday.
almost over.
The entire month of October.
Okay, all right. Wow. How has your day been so far?
So far, so good. It's Sunday. Self-care Sunday. I'm
Okay.
chilling, letting
I
it
was
do
just
what it do.
thinking, waiting on you dancing to the music.
Yeah. The old
Okay,
lady
yeah.
dance.
It's cool. My day has been light. It's been cool. Same old.
Yeah, that's cool.
No biggie.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of modern men today? Like, what's the issue with them?
The question should be, what is not the issue?
No,
You know?
shade, guys.
Well, I can name a few of what I go through when it comes to dating or whatever. I think that a lot of them don't have, well, let me see, the mindset. It's like, are you a leader? Are you an individual? Do you have your own mindset? Or does social media tell you what to think and how to feel? I hear, it's like through the conversation, you can tell when you're having a conversation with some of the men that they are influenced somewhat by social media to a certain extent, or a lot or a little, you can tell.
So what you say, it's like dating a meme?
Yes.
Like dating a meme. Like, sir, do you read memes all day long? Come
Right. Or do you listen to the podcast of the single men who are not in relationships, probably haven't had a long relationship, telling you what to do in a relationship? Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from social media if it's not promotion or something like that. Hopefully I can drop a link at some point because I'd love to get attention in that way. But outside of that, it's like, remember the meme that used to say the dating pool has pee in it?
Yes.
Hey, unapologetic manhood. That used to be one of my favorite memes because I'm like, yeah,
Right.
I can see that. I could.
Right. They added some stuff to it now, though. Yeah.
Some arsenic, little acid. Yeah.
Right.
So, if I had to say what was wrong with I don't know, is it modern men? Is that millennials, or is it just this modern mindset? I have trouble with that sometimes.
I think it's just a modern mindset.
Okay.
That's what I think, because you have some older men who are not millennials, and you hear them talk some of the terminology too. So,
like, sir, you were too old for this. Also, sir, your jeans are a little too skinny.
especially, when Kevin Samuels, they used to always talk. They used to be hot when, y'all the women. I'm strolling social media, and I can see in the comments sometimes when men say, yeah, those are the women that Kevin Samuels talk about. And I know that they are probably well over 40.
Yeah. So now, mind you, now see, I don't even want to talk about Kevin Samuels. There was a specific type of woman that I know I would never strive to be, that he was referring to, and just based on my upbringing, I know that wasn't part of what I even wanted my character to be. But I also know that in some of my life choices, it still put me in some of those categories. Not all of them, but enough of them to not necessarily be the preference for some people, right? But whatever happened to some of the other old-fashioned dynamics, right? Like, I know a lot of modern men want to be chaste. And I know that coming up, especially if you come up in the church, which I didn't, but I still got enough of it to know that the saying is, and the proverb is, a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So how are you finding me if I'm finding you? Like, if you're sitting there waiting to be found, that doesn't even work. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a warped perspective on both sides. Hello.
Yeah, or the women, well, if you want to get married, then propose to him.
Girl, don't get me started on that.
Right. And a lot of them say, there's nothing wrong with a woman proposing to a man and yada, yada, yada. If that's what you want to do, by all means. But no, not for me.
So who carries the marriage when a woman proposes to a man? Does she carry him over the threshold, or like?
She might as well carry him.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's
what I'm thinking. So,
but then they always come back to a woman should be submissive, or the woman should submit, or that's actually not the correct way to say it, though. The wife should be submitted.
Wives submit to your husbands.
And then
husbands submit to your wives.
They submit to each other. They're one.
So while I'm looking at that scripture, in the Velvet Room says a woman should never propose to a man. I do concur.
I agree. Because generally women know that they want to get married. Like, they know that at a young age. They have that idea, I want to be a wife. And so you don't hear I don't hear a lot of men say, oh, I knew I was going to be a husband. Like, how many times have you heard that? Or I knew I wanted to be a husband. I haven't heard that a lot. So if he knows when he's ready.
Hey, lady.
Hey.
Okay. Eric said, it's no problem with one another making a move. Find it is taking in marriage. Of course, I don't agree with her proposing. Well, then, so she takes it all the way up to that point and then he proposes? Or was he the one to do the pursuing so it could get to that point? Because where's the line of demarcation? You know what I mean? Where she realizes, okay, I'm doing what technically the old-fashioned, or even the biblical way, if that's your belief, I'm doing all of that and he's not, right? So I don't know. I think we got away from those values. So I'm just looking up Ephesians 5:22, the one that says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord, right? Because a lot of people want to go off of that scripture. And so I go down a little bit more down to 5:25, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church. So where does it start? Does he love her first and then propose to her first, or does she submit so he can want to propose to her? Like, why is everything all misconstrued and discombobulated?
Well, actually, if we go up further before we hit the wife submit to the husband, we have to also say that it says the husband is supposed to be submitted to Christ. So that's the first step, which means he's supposed to know who he is. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be, because if the first step is done, there's no need to worry about any of the other steps, because he's going to be in position. He's going to do what he's supposed to do, that he knows what he's supposed to do. So we don't even have to worry about the other steps.
Right. Was that verse 22 or 23? I did see it in there. So that's a very good point. So if he's aligned with Christ, as you said, as a believing man, if that's his belief, or if it's not his belief, if he's a strong man, if he's a man that, does what a man is supposed to do, is she pursuing him? Is that in alignment with his beliefs for her to pursue him? Or for him to take that action as, the man, as the head, and pursue her. Eric said they love first, submit should be understood premarital. And in the Velvet Room says men like to use the women, should submit, but they're not willing to be a man of God. Yeah, I see that a lot.
Right.
So that's my question. What does a man of God wait to be pursued by a woman, or does a man of God go out and put together the things that allow him to build a strong house as a head in Christ, or just a head in whatever his belief is?
I wouldn't say he was, because even if you're not talking about pursuing a woman, just pursuing things in life in general, he's not gonna sit at home and wait for those things. So why would he sit at home and wait for a woman to pursue him? And that's when you talk about the characteristics of a strong man in general. He is a go-getter. He's aggressive. He's gonna go get what he wants. And that's how I look at it when it comes to a man pursuing me. You're gonna come get me. If he wants you, he's gonna come get you.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I usually like the ones that continue, to come in this direction, even though my face is like Stonewall. Because there's no telling what's on my mind, right? Let's see. What is a strong man in 2022? A person who performs remarkable feats of strength, the most powerful or influential person in an organization or business. Let me see. What's a strong man in a relationship? Let's see. He does not disrespect your friends in order to keep you to himself. He places priority on mutual respect as opposed to seeking baseless submission. There we go. He allows you to be and doesn't keep you from doing the things that make you happy. Those are some things I could see taking strength. That came from a Nigerian website. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
He's respectful, definitely. Respectful.
No K Boogie today. She is on Ladies Like Us at 8:00. So that's coming up next. And I'll also see you there, lady. I'm glad you tapped in here as well. Thank you for coming. What would you say is a strong man in a relationship? I know there's a lot of different perspectives on that.
Yeah, for me, definitely being a leader, having his own mind, like I said earlier. I definitely think a strong person has their own mindset. It's not about what the world is doing, but it's about you, the desires you have, what type of person you want to be, what type of leader you want to be. Because if we are honest with ourselves, we are all an influence on someone. Someone is watching us, someone is looking at us. So, what type of influence you want to be. So I definitely think a strong man is someone who has his own mind. And, he has confidence, and he gets what he wants, and he does the work to obtain what it is he wants.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being the case. I had a thought and it totally slipped away, but it went back to men in skinny jeans. But while I'm thinking about it, Eric said, a strong man is knowing who gives you power and using that strength of God to be the best man for a wife to be. Okay, I like the sound of that.
I can agree with that. I feel like a strong man knows who he is.
Yeah.
And he knows the power that he has. And of course, whatever his belief is, that's where his power comes from. Yeah. And his strength, so.
And that doesn't necessarily fall under using your power over other people either. It takes a lot of strength to not give in to your desires or, your impulses or whatever the case may be, especially when you know what alignment looks like. I don't know. My mind just keeps going back to these skinny jeans and these elf boots and this, these very tight clothes and these man buns and things. Right? They may be aesthetically pleasing. As a fashion designer, it looks nice on the runway. I can say that. Right? But when you are a certain type of woman, Maybe it looks a little not masculine. I was listening to one of the other podcasts and someone called it soy boys, which knowing about the female hormones in soy, I thought it was hilarious, but I was like, have a very good point. So
are a lot of feminine clothing nowadays that we pass off as, oh, that's fashion and that's, but to me now is not. Because of what I am attracted to. And when it comes to
my father dressing like that either, like,
right.
What are you doing, Dad?
Because I don't look at that as being masculine. That's not something that I look at, and that's not something I'm attracted to. Because as like a lot of men like to say, women are not in their feminine now. But if you're in your feminine, then it allows me not to be in my feminine. And both of us can't have on tight pants.
Like, you're not borrowing my pants.
Right.
It's just, you can't do
right.
it.
So,
at the same time, the whole concept of women wearing boyfriend jeans and boyfriend t-shirts and all those other things, I think it started very early and way more subtly than people thought. And that's part of why I believe some of these problems arose. How many women were raising sons and the son was the man of the house? No, you're not a man. You're a little boy who is a young man becoming a man. But you ain't the man of this house.
Right. You're not even a man.
Yeah.
So no. Yeah. I think there's some things that we think is cute or we might think is, but when we do, like I said, we get into the rotation of doing certain stuff because we've seen it or heard it done, and it's really not healthy.
Yeah. So. Ruining the future. Ruining the future. What did Whitney say? Whitney believed our children are the future.
Right.
Teach them well.
They are.
Like, don't leave that part out. Teach them well, because they're not just going to grow up and just know, right? This man is not going to never have any tools given to him and then grow up knowing, oh, this is how I'm supposed to do this.
Right.
At some point, it's up to him to learn, but I think one of the biggest problems with modern men is not taking the time to find out what it's supposed to look like, as opposed to just following everything that is out there. Let's get sturdy together.
I also feel like they want to be cuddled too. They want to be cuddled, and it's like I don't even cuddle my son, so I'm not.
Are you meaning cuddled like hugs and love?
No, like baby, like let's. Now, let me pat you on the back. It's okay. Cuddling is good. It's that type of cuddling is good. But they want to be, and then they want props for doing something that you already should.
I took out the trash.
Right. It's like, yay, you did it. No, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, it's okay. Now, and that's not to say you can't show appreciation, because that's not what I'm talking about. But you just want the constant words of affirmation, like just you want to be pumped, but no, like at some point you gotta have some of that for yourself.
No, I agree that you have to have it for yourself. Now, what if that's his love language, where the words of affirmation are actually what gets his noodle going, or what keeps him revved up and wanting to do all those things? What if he was like missing validation growing up?
But see, that's something you have to work on. You can only pull on me so much for some of that, because it's going to get repetitive, and then it's going to get like aggravating. Like, why do I always have to reaffirm that? Like, no. So for me, I'm cautious when somebody say their love language is words of affirmation. My question is, how much affirmation do you need?
I'll tell you what.
It's
one of my top 3. My top 3 all get the same score. It's quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation. You know what that looks like for me? I love you, Sana. I love you, Sana, in the mirror for about 30 minutes a day, because I get my words of affirmation and I get my physical touch. And you're absolutely right. You got to find your own charger. You can't try to make somebody else be your charger and still keep themselves charged. It's not going to work.
You cannot.
Anyway.
No, because they are going to be burned out. I promise. Yeah. Constantly. It's draining. It's mentally draining. Have you ever dated a man who lacked confidence?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It is so draining.
Yeah, because I can't tell you every day. I'm not gonna leave you. I'm just go to the grocery store. It's okay.
I know.
I gotta go to work. It's all right. I promise I'll be back.
Right.
Yeah,
See, mine's is time, touch, and what is it? Acts of service. So
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So does that look like you giving service or you receiving service?
I'm a giver. So I being single, I'm a giver, so I give service, but I also give back to myself too because I have my me time and stuff, you know. I treat myself and stuff, so I feel like I'm getting my love language in.
So my birthday is October 28th. I'm gonna tell you again. And
Okay.
my favorite color, depending on the season, is purple or yellow. There we that color yellow and that color purple at the top. Okay, so just keep that in your mind. The Velvet Room said a giver. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Let's say Lady. I don't know how to say your name. Is it Lady Naveau? And she said, right, she co-signed what you said earlier. About giving too much, just a bit much.
Yeah.
So at what point do you find that you have given too much? Like, what do you do when you get to that point where you're pulling on a reserve you don't have?
Yeah, we got to break up.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, so it looks like it's almost time for the men to come through here with some manly wisdom. So y'all stay tuned for that one. It's been a great conversation. I want to talk about this some more. Let's chit chat behind the scenes. Yeah.
We can do it. Right. We can talk about some more things that you know we can look out for when it comes to dating. And, you know, the modern men. Do you consider yourself a modern woman? I don't.
Actually, I don't. No. Yeah. Like, I'm a lot more old fashioned than a lot of women I know in a lot of ways. Yeah. Yeah. I did some things out of order, but you know, doesn't change the way I see things.
Yeah, I think I can take a little bit from both sides. You know, I could take a little bit of the old, little bit of the new, and mix them. You know, and get the perfect combination.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I don't think. Yeah.
Man Cave coming up, y'all. Stay tuned for that Man Cave. You know they go in.
Yeah, I gotta see what they gotta say. I gotta see what they talking about.
Yes, they get a little crazy in there.